Okay, so this is like my 7th time trying to make this video because of kids' noise and hair dryers and malfunctioning cameras. People have been asking me a lot about how 2020 has been going, and I just figured it easier to make a video. You can watch or you can completely ignore this. But it's just easier for me to kind of reach everybody. So I work in EMS. I'm an EMT on the ambulance, also paramedic intern, so I'm a student right now. I'm working 6 days a week. 2020 has been hard. It started off normal, and then come right around March when the lockdown started, people became very, very afraid and stopped calling 911. It was so quiet actually that I got sent home early a day or two because the call volume was so low. And then of course people started getting sick and it ramped up and things got kind of crazy and it got really busy. In the last week, I've had probably 10 or 12 COVID positive patients between working and internship. And that's been hard to see. My anecdotal evidence is a lot of these patients are coming from nursing facilities. And then the other grouping are people who, when we're asking like, hey, where do you think you were exposed? Said things like, oh, I went to see my sick mom to make sure she was okay. She ended up testing positive and then I got it. Or we had another patient who just been out like kind of doing their own thing and then brought it home to their family. Anecdotal evidence, of course, but that's just kind of what I've seen. So with that said, just please be careful with your decisions and what you plan on doing. Just be aware of how transferable this disease can be. And so far so good for me though. I haven't been sick at all. It's been a rough year though. It's been busy and I'm tired and I'm stressed. But with that said, this video is not about me like saying like, hey, I got the vaccine, look at me, I'm so great. It's actually, I kind of want to compliment both the union representation I have at work and the company because as some of you may or may not know, the ambulance service is oftentimes viewed as a third service, meaning that we're not lumped in with fire and PD. So the access that they have to things like vaccinations or care, because they're government employees, we don't always get. Our company and our union reps fought really hard to get us grouped in with those people, and so we had access to the Pfizer Covid vaccine. It requires 2 doses. I went down and got my first dose on the 27th, and I got my little card here from the CDC and at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. And so I got the vaccine in my left arm. It was a quick poke. It took from arrival to me getting into my car was about 26 minutes, 25 to 26 minutes. That included the 15-minute wait time to see if I had any sort of allergic reactions. I personally have no medical history with any sort of IM injections like the flu shots. I get a little sore in my arm and that's about as far as that goes. And so I got the shot. After about 4 hours, started to get a little bit sore. And then by the next morning, I put my arm above my head and it was pretty sore. I just felt like someone punched me. Although not as bad as usually, as how my arm usually feels when I get the flu shot. Later that day, so about 24 hours afterward, I started to feel just really tired. Then again, I've been going like 6 days a week, 12-hour, 14-hour days sometimes. I'm tired, I don't sleep very well, I'm stressed out. So maybe it was attributed to that. But later on in the day, I actually felt great. I had a bunch of energy, and I'm not saying there's any correlation between the vaccine and my heightened energy about 28, 30 hours later, but I felt great. I had a lot of energy, I felt good. And that's as far as that went. I can go back on the 17th of January or later, get the second dose. I do plan on doing that. My decision-making process for that was simply I did my research and I felt that it was the best for me with my countless exposures. There's, of course, just to be upfront and honest, there's some fear of bringing something home to my family. And so for me, this was the first step to care for those that I love. That's just my opinion, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll report back when I get the second dose as to how I felt and how it went, but it was a really easy process, and I just feel lucky because I didn't think I'd be getting the vaccine for weeks, if not months. Then I had the opportunity to get it early before the end of the year and start that process. So I feel very lucky and blessed to be where I'm at. I love my job. I love people I get to work with, and I love interning, even though it's hard. It's a learning experience for everybody. Specifically, it's a learning experience for me. But I'm excited to get back out there and feel a little more confident and a little safer. So hope you guys have a good new year. And that's what I got. I'll report back.